Howdy folks, Jamboree here and welcome to another episode of Jam Bites. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a former bodybuilder, politician and movie star. He's known for his distinct accent, large body frame and timbre voice. His acting performances range from being boring and unconvincing to over the top and unintentionally hilarious. In this episode of Jam Bites, I'm going to talk about one of Arnold's films, Kindergarten Cop. Detectives John Kimball and Paige O'Hara are assigned to an undercover case. They must pose as a husband and wife in a small town. While there, they must find a twisted criminal's family in order to put him away for good. Unfortunately, O'Hara ends up getting sick and Kimball must take over O'Hara's undercover identity as a kindergarten teacher. This means that Kimball has to look after and teach a class of 6-year-olds, while trying to find the son and mother. This movie is really silly and cheesy, but I kind of liked it. Yes, the music score is dated and over-whimsical. Yes, the film's dark elements are very jarring against its light-hearted comedy. And yes, Schwarzenegger's acting is a mix of over-the-top and stilted. But the film's characters are so entertaining that it's hard for me to hate it. These characters are really fun. Jack Kimball is a badass, confident cop, but he has enough heart to show his tender side too. Yes, he lies to his love interest about who he is, but he's trying to be a professional undercover cop. It's his job to make his fake identity seem real. John's partner Phoebe is very professional and focused, but she also has a strong sense of humour, and provides some funny moments as well as a badass one-liner in the finale. The film's villain, Cullen Crisp, is a nutcase mama's boy. He comes off as intimidating and scary, yet also human, because you can tell that deep down he really wants to be a father. He's just too screwed up in the head to go about things the right way. The kindergartners themselves are adorable and say some pretty funny lines. It's amusing watching these kids drive Kimball up the wall just by being themselves. However, like I said, the movie has two strikingly different tones. Almost like it's two different movies forced into one feature. You have the hard-edged police thriller and the upbeat, playful comedy full of enchanting whimsy. This creates a jarring contrast, and makes it difficult to believe that some scenes are sharing the same story. I mean, compare Schwarzenegger in this scene with Schwarzenegger in this scene.
If you were a bird and lived on high, you'd lean on the wind when the wind came by.
It's like there's two different John Kimballs. Yeah, John is fun and likeable, but I will admit that his character is quite inconsistent because of the film's opposing tones. In addition, the film's romance between Kimball and a school co-worker isn't as touching as it thinks. These intentionally romantic moments are shot and scored in a way that implies that we should be moved by their chemistry. I just kept having this uncomfortable feeling, because it's all based on a lie. Kimball is posing as a false identity. The teacher isn't falling for the real Kimball. So when the film tried to play off the romance as charming and sweet, I felt more awkward than deeply moved. It's a justified lie, like I said, but that doesn't excuse the film from trying to make the romance seem sincere and heartfelt. Now, the action sequences aren't high-octane and wild. Instead, they're slowly paced and rely on sharp tension. Yes, there's a scene where Arnie fires a gun repeatedly when fighting off some armed men. But, for the most part, the action is based around atmosphere. I like how the film builds up its conflicts because it kept me on my toes. But some viewers may want something insane and explosive. Those people will be disappointed because the action is kind of subtle. To conclude, this movie is kind of dumb and corny, but there's a charm to its silliness. Schwarzenegger's acting is weak as usual, but his character is still a likeable guy, who you'll possibly end up rooting for, simply because you can tell that his heart is in the right place most of the time, and it's clear that he adores these kids. The two conflicting tones can be jarring and confusing though, I won't deny that. However, the child characters are very cute and say some pretty funny things. In addition, the action scenes are very tense and cinematic too. They're bound to keep you gripped through decent build-up and some fun payoffs. I'm going to give this film 3 strawberries out of 5. I've been Jamboree, and I hope you enjoyed my review. Cheerio, folks!